It was dead in the winter, I'll tell you that, because there was only one access road out, and people came to visit relatives, and so there was traffic in and out of the valley, but there was no what you would call activity that brought people in the winter.
Because the mail had shut down in '72, and that's when we bought the motel, because what are you going to do around here if you don't work at the mill, and there's nothing to do in the wintertime to speak of.
It was a lot more active ranching going on back then, even out in Mazama.
The only recreation activity was potluck dinners at the Mazama Community Club, which was known then as the How to Do Club. And anyway, it was farmer and neighbor all had to sit down. It kept the peace because they had to sit down across from each other at these potluck dinners. And that made for the population being a little more friendly than they would have been without those dinners.
The three areas were operating, and the family sports club was operating, and so everybody wanted to cooperate with each other, and I think that's a great thing about the Methow Valley, is that people have always been cooperating with one another to do all kinds of things, not just skiing, but all kinds of things here. So I didn't see the Diamond T Ranch or North Cascade Base Camp as a competitor. I saw them as a partner, and I think they felt the same way about Sun Mountain, is that if somebody's going to get in their car and drive all the way over here from Seattle, our interest was in their enjoyment. And of course, we were all madly in love with cross-country skiing. We thought this was the greatest thing ever. And the more trails we had, the more we had to ski. And we made sure that we all skied every day. So that motivation was big. And then we just began to feel that everything would be better if we cooperated. We could groom better if we began to charge for it. And we also felt that a valley-wide cross-country trail system would spread out the tourist revenue throughout the Upper Valley.
Sometimes it was really challenging to say, okay, let's do this. And sometimes you have to just take the chance and say, okay, I think it'll work out, but let's get it started. And let's get it surfaced, or we'll bring an agency along and get them involved. So the sooner you get enough impetus behind one of the directions that you're going, and then it works.
And Cal Merriman, who owned the Mazama Country Inn at the time, came to us and with a little clipping that said, funding available for trails, and handed it to us, and we proceeded to find out that what was called the Interagency Committee for Outdoor Recreation at the time had a program and funding available for municipalities to build trails.
We couldn't connect all the pieces, and so we needed the Forest Service involvement.
Once Hayes started collecting easements, it became very clear that the whole system could work because all the pods were engaged, and about that same time in 1990, Sun Mountain totally remodeled and redid its building so that they were totally behind it.
From the very beginning, she rolled up her sleeves, and it was, let's make this happen.
It was the first 2 or 3 years that the organization groomed trails for the public. We weren't even allowed to charge a fee on Forest Service land, and we didn't want to get into splitting up the trail system, so we just didn't do it. Finally got permission to charge for the first time. So that was an obviously big step, because all of a sudden we had a little bit of income and we could afford a $5,000 snowmobile, whereas before a couple of board members had to mortgage their houses so we could buy 2 of them.
So we lucked out that all of the kids like to cross-country ski. That certainly makes it easy for a family to do something together. And they skied through high school here, and when it came time to look for a college, they all looked in different directions, but they all looked for a skiing college.
Here we are with the largest cross-country ski area in North America that's groomed perfectly every single day. It's just an amazing thing. And so that's how it started 40 years ago.
It's just taken so many years. I don't think we've had a celebration, and I think the party will be a cause for celebration. I think it's time for a big celebration.